going on, everyone? This is the Popcorn Heroes review of Insecure Season 4, Episode Deuce, which is 2 for the people who don't know. Stands for number 2. Roman numeral.
Okay.
1 I
think they got it.
For 2. Oh, okay. Okay, making sure.
Yeah, no, I think they got it.
I am Armando. With me today is God's Gift Orlando.
Yo, what up?
What ups? Alright, man, so let's just jump into it. Let's not go through the same old crap we always do. This is a spoiler-tastic review of this latest episode. We're going to talk about and give you our thoughts about it. So we just jump into it and that's it. So if you haven't seen it, come back. If you've seen it, welcome to the review or discussion, whatever you want to call it. Orlando, how did you enjoy the episode?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think a lot of things that I said previously in the last episode, it seems like it's heading to that direction. So kind of interested to see where it keeps going. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really liked I just liked the flow of it. I liked how things started to progress in terms of the story. Yeah, what did you think so far?
I enjoyed it, man. I think it was a very good episode, man, like for sure. It, like you said, things are coming about right now, and I really enjoyed, the conversations, the way everybody was acting, and like you said, it's kind of going in the direction we both think it's going in. Let's see if there's any twists and turns somewhere around there. But the biggest thing that I was left stuck on was literally the end of the episode, where the camera just kind of stayed on Molly, and Molly was just kind of like pondering. So what did you think that she was thinking about in that moment? Like,
well, I think,
what was she pondering about?
I think that was kind of like, so at the end of the episode, you see Molly basically throughout the whole episode kind of feeling kind of like distant from Issa. Like, she tries to, they first meet up. I think it's like right before, like, I guess Halloween or something, because they're all wearing costumes.
Or Halloween, either or.
Yeah, or it's Halloween, yeah. And they're catching up, and I guess it's been a while, so Molly's catching her up on, like, all the stuff going on with her and her Asian boo. And then in the middle, they have her and the Asian boo have some drama. She tries to get a hold of Molly. Get a hold of Issa. She can't. And then at the end, basically, she catches her up of what happened. And Issa's, like, kind of, like, quick to, like, not quick, but kind of doesn't really support her in the way she wants to be supported. She kind of just says, like, oh, like, you messing this up kind of way. Like,
yeah, you're always looking for a way out.
Yeah, which is basically what she's been saying since the first episode. And she kind of says that throughout, like, the first episode and this episode. She's constantly saying that, which is true though. Like, she's not wrong,
Mm-hmm.
And so then at the end of it, like, even though, like, Issa's right, Molly gets a phone call by, Asian Boo, and he's just like, hey, like, I'm willing to open up. You're right. Let's, yada yada yada. So I think the silence and the face was kind of more of a hesitation, like, oh, you know what, like,
no, you don't have an excuse anymore.
No, kind of like you keep judging me, so what's the point of telling you? Like, what's the point of telling you, like, any news if you're gonna bring me down? Like, what's the point of like telling you like what's going on if you're just gonna, like, just shit on me?
Yeah.
Sometimes when we talk to people and they're venting, they're not looking for advice. They're just looking for you to be like, oh, okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, nobody wants to hear, like, and I told you so, or like, oh, well, you should have not done that, or blah, blah, blah. Especially, like, when they're just looking for, like, someone to listen to them. So I think that's the angle Molly was going on. Like, yo, I don't want you to tell me I'm wrong. I just want you to be my friend and listen to me. Okay. And so you just see, like, that kind of play out. Like, well, what's the point of telling you, like, oh, well, he was on my side, so haha, after you just shitted on me, he took my side. So I think that was just her being like kind of guarded, like, oh well, there's no point telling you because you just like, well, my boyfriend just proved you wrong, you know. Yeah. So what's the point of telling you?
You know, it's funny because I took it the other way. I took it in a sense of, because she was, after that conversation, she was still kind of shook from it. So it wasn't like a happy, like, oh yeah, nice, like I was right, or you know how she usually gets when she's right. So I didn't see it as her kind of in her own self, like proving a point. I saw it more of her kind of wondering what happened, like what was all this, what was this all about, you know, in a sense of like, now I can't, I took it as I don't have an out anymore. Like I don't have an excuse of being, oh yeah, he didn't want to play ball, but now he is playing ball, so she has nothing bad to say about him at this moment. So for me, I felt like her pondering was essentially like, I'm stranged out by this, because usually at this moment, either I'm like, nah, fuck it, or the guy's just like, nah, fuck it. But the guy was willing to work with me now, and I don't think she ever had a guy who was willing to work with her. And her only problem with him was that he wasn't opening up or willing to work at it. So now that she has what she wanted, I feel like she was just like, now what? Or like, like it was, for me, it was like, it was an phase of, holy shit, now what I'm gonna do, what's gonna happen now, am I happy? You know, I think that's kind of what I found from that, because I think, and especially how how she zoned out everything, even when she essentially zoned out Issa when Issa was ranting about, you know, her random crap she was ranting about. So she was more internal than external, I think, in that moment. So I don't think she even considered or thought about telling Issa anything, or even cared about what Issa thought at that moment. I think it was more of like me, like, oh, I'm getting what I want, so what I'm gonna do about it now. That's how I took it. For me, I didn't think it had anything to do with Issa. I don't think Issa mattered in that moment. Essentially, how she zoned her out, you know.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, in that aspect, you're right. I think I think in that aspect you're right. Kind of like she's kind of like starstruck of like, okay, what happens now, or what does this mean going forward? I think in that aspect you're right. I think though, like I said, like she is gonna be more guarded, because this is, like I said, like in possibly like 3 times already within the show, at least this season, Issa has criticized her relationship, and not in the sense of like criticize the relationship like the relationship is bad, but criticize Molly's actions within the relationship. Yeah. So I feel like that's going to come full circle, and it's going to affect their relationship in a negative way. Especially, I think
it is already being affected for sure.
Yeah, especially if it continues to be like if it continues to be a relationship and it continues to be like successful in whatever sense you might think, then I feel like Marley's gonna be more guarded in telling Issa like everything.
And I think at this point also, she's very jealous and or afraid of Condola, because she feels like a third wheel now in Issa's life. Before Issa, you know, Molly used to be like a focal point in Issa's life, and now Issa has another friend, has someone else that she can hang out with, someone else that she could spend time with, that she's getting close to, and they're doing this business thing and whatever. So I think she also feels very afraid of what could potentially happen with her, because they're not in the best of terms. And on top of that, she has a new relationship, of like a new friendship relationship. So I think she's also afraid of that, and especially in, you know, that dinner scene where she was super jealous of them hanging out together, and you know, she's trying to push out Condola from, you know, when they were hanging out. So I really feel this whole entire season is going to be a big strain on their both on their friendship, more than ever before.
Yeah, no, I could easily see that playing out. I just don't know what's going to be the catalyst for their breakup. Is it going to be her new relationship, or is it going to be Issa's friendship with Condola? It could be a mixture of both, obviously, but I do wonder how it's gonna play out. I feel like it seems like it's gonna be tick for tat in a sense of like Issa's judging Molly for her relationship, and then Molly's gonna judge Issa on the fact that she's keeping a relationship with Condola while Condola's dating Lawrence. So yeah. I feel like they're both gonna trade criticism blows back and forth until one of them is like, all right, you know what, like you do you, I'll do me. That's kind of how I see it playing out so far.
Yeah, for sure. So you do feel that at the end of the season they're going to be breaking up, or midway point and then getting back together, or what do you think?
I think at the end of the season they won't be friends. You have to end the season, because then like what do you root for in the next season? You know? Yeah,
and that's what you were saying last time. Like it's gonna end with them breaking up,
right? Because each season has like not like a cliffhanger, but it kind of leaves the characters at different stages in their lives, so then you are invested in the next season. You know?
Yeah.
Because like the first season it was basically like the breakup, Lisa and Lawrence. The next second season, I feel like actually the second season had like a full circle. Like she moved in with Daniel, she moved out of Daniel's house, and then she moved back in with Daniel at the end. The second season. But I mean things still changed within like her dating wise, and then I think Lawrence wasn't in that season at all, right? Or no, he came at the end of that season. Yeah,
Lawrence was gone for a while.
He came at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
He came at the end of season 2, and then I think at season 3 is when you saw that he was just like
a fuckboy.
A fuckboy, yeah, Temendo, like just fucking around. I believe so. But yeah, you have to have like the characters like move on or have something different, so then that way like, you know, like I said, like not everything gets resolved within one season. So I feel like they're gonna end with the breakup of Molly and Issa. So then in season 3 they can either fix it or extend like their breakup.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you know what I did like of this episode is having Lawrence's friends come back, because you barely ever see them now, and I think they're very funny, and like I like their banter together. I wish there was always more of them in certain episodes.
Yeah, I think I agree. I just think the show's not about them or about Lawrence really, so I think that's why it doesn't really focus on it focuses on Lawrence, but very small. Like, you know, like you see Molly's work life, you see Issa's work life, you see Issa's relationship, you see Molly's relationships and her friendships. Lawrence, at the end of the day, while he's still a major player, he's like top 3. You know, he's a bottom.
Yeah.
He's at the bottom of the 3 when you think of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially, so it's not really about them. I feel like they mentioned that in season 1. I think like the guys is insecure, because back then it was a lot of men being focused on insecure. It was Joe, Lawrence, the friend, Daniel. I think, you know, like all 4 guys, well at least Joe, Lawrence, and Daniel were like the main focus, and then the comedic relief friend that Lawrence has. But those 3 guys were like the main focal point of the show for like a little bit, but quickly like Issa and the writers quickly like reminded you like, yo, this is not about them. So it's as cool as, and as agree, as much as I like them, and as much as I like their perspective and like I like their banter, it's not about them. So
yeah, it's because like before you used to also see Lawrence's work life. Now you don't really see that anymore either. I think that's since season 2 or something like that. You don't see his work life anymore.
I think it's probably because like his work life was important to show like his development as a person and his growth, because his career was an issue in season 1. So like if they resolved the issue, like why keep bringing it up, you know? Like why show him like striving in this sense? That's not the issue anymore. The issue now is like him dealing with like relationships, him dealing with like personal, like him dealing with the fact that his Condola is like Issa's friend and all this other stuff. Like that's the main issue. It's kind of like how Molly's issue was like, yes, her relationships, but also her job. Like she's always been like fighting for like to have a voice in her job and always fighting to like have that space. And so every once in a while they show you like, oh, she's still struggling with this.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's why you don't see Lawrence's job anymore, because like we resolved this problem already. So why show it? Like it's not about that. Like if they resolve, like if Molly was like chair, like she won chairman or something, or she was like promoted and she was like highly respected, they would show less of that too. But it's the fact that like season 1 she was getting shitted on. I believe she left to that other company cause she was working for that white company.
Yeah, that white firm.
So
they never promoted her.
They never promoted her. So then she left to like the all black firm, and she still has that problem with the coworker. That like kind of like that's above her, kind of like they kind of play that game, but they never resolved that, and she still has that problem. So because they never resolved it, that's why they show it more. Because like, hey, this is still like we didn't forget about this like subplot kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if she ever does like in any season like come up in the sense of like she works out the relationship or she becomes partner or chair or whatever, then I feel like you're not gonna see that much of it. That's why you see a bunch of Issa's job. You see a lot more than anything, because Issa is struggling consistently through the seasons to like find her passion and find her like footing within her career. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right. I think anything else you want to say about the episode?
Well, I mean, we didn't touch on Condola, Issa, and Lawrence. You know, Lawrence confronted Issa.
What do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know, like if I would have went the Issa route, I think I would have went to Condola. Like if it was bothering me, I think I confronted Condola than Issa. Like, because I think at the end of the day, like, I guess like Issa has more history, so she has obviously more to talk about when it comes to Lawrence.
Yeah,
that's you really can't tell her what to do. Like, I mean, out of respect, she can like believe, like, you know, do that for you out of like respect for what you guys had and shit. But at the end of the day, like, you could have easily told that to Condola, like, hey, I want you to, because what he said was a nice sentiment. Yeah, it was a valid sentiment, and it was a valid like it wasn't like, oh, hey, I don't like it because you're telling my shit. It's like, hey, I want her to know me for me. So like when I tell her my stories, they're more important because I shared it with her, but rather than like, you know, you telling her my stories, you know.
Yeah.
Which is valid, which is a totally valid reason, especially like when you start dating someone and you start learning about them. The fact that they let you in is huge. You know, the fact that someone shares with you like their emotion and their fears and their dreams, stuff like that. Even like the little things, it's a big deal. So like his reasoning behind it, at least the way he phrased it, because obviously it should have just bothered him, but the way he phrased it, he sold it right. He sold it exactly like, hey, like, I want my stories that I tell her to have meaning, and if you tell her, like, it kind of takes away that like that bond that we could share, which is super valid.
I agree with you. I think he definitely should have gone to Condola.
Yeah,
because like, yo, it's cool that you guys talk about me, whatever, but I would like to share my life with you.
Right, and
I don't want you to learn about it from someone else.
And I think the fact that like the way, like I said, like it's a nice sentiment. It's a nice like his phrasing of it is very romantic. It's very like heartwarming. So why not just tell your girl like, yo, like it's cool that, you know, you guys have a friendship and I'll never get in between that, but I want you to know me for me, and I want to tell my life to you, you know, like,
yeah,
shit, like if if someone told me that, like if I was dating someone and then like I don't know, like you know her and then you told me her story, she was like, hey, I don't want Amanda to tell my story. I want you to hear from me. I'm like, okay, damn, that's fucking really, that's really sweet, you know. So
yeah, no, you're right, absolutely right.
So I think he played it. I think he played it wrong. I think he played the wrong deck, the wrong hand. But and I feel it's obviously gonna bite him in the ass. Later on.
Yeah.
Issa's gonna.
I think so too.
Issa's obviously gonna slip it out, like awkwardly or something.
Oh yeah, Lawrence told me not to talk to you about him or whatever.
Right.
And then she's gonna be like, when he do that, whatever. Yeah.
So I think he did it wrong. But I guess I don't know. Like at the end of the day, like sometimes it's like us being the viewer. It's like hindsight 2020. But I guess also it's kind of like he knows. I understand him in the sense like it's like I know he knows Issa, so he knows how Issa's gonna react. You know, he doesn't. Yeah. He's starting to get to know Condola, so he's just like, damn. If I tell her this, it's like how his homeboy said, like, oh, you're gonna come out jealous. So that's what kind of like, okay, damn, I can't go that route. I can't fuck up if I come off jealous. I can't fuck that up. I'd rather fuck up with Issa because like I'm not with her right now, so it's easier. It's an easier gamble.
And she doesn't really matter.
And she doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? So like I could explode on her, and like even if he didn't explode, but I could tell her what's up, and you know she can hopefully keep her mouth shut, and then that's it. It'll work out my favor. But so I could understand his like logic behind it, because he's like, I know how Issa could take this. I don't know how Condola can take this.
That's true also.
So it goes back to like at the end of the day, it plays back to the dynamic and the fact that like he's known her for like easily like 6-7 years already, you know. So
yeah,
he knows like how to talk to her, what to say, how she could understand him, blah blah. You know, at the end of the day, like they have, regardless of what you know they went through, they have love for each other. So he knows he can play that card.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you're absolutely right on those both points, and you could see with the road he took. Like you could understand why he chose that road, because again, you don't want to come off of jealous. You don't want that person to think that, oh, I can't talk to anybody about you because you're gonna get bothered by it, you know, and then they get afraid of having conversations about you with someone else, and you know, and then coming back to you. But also, I think the way he worded it would have been great for her also, though. I think she probably would have understood him in that moment if he told her the way he told Issa, because in that sense you're not coming off as jealous, you're coming off as just like, hey, I want you to learn from me, not from people who have history with me, you know. So I think as a partner that would have been a nice sentiment to have. And I think I thought from the initial idea of him meeting up with her, I thought he was going to be more aggressive towards her about that. But he was pretty, like, soft with it and very kind with it. So, I just think he should have... I think, at this moment, I think he should have just told Condola exactly what he told Issa. And I think she would have understood him. You know?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I mean, who knows how I would have went, but I think I would have went the other route. Tell my girl, like, yo, especially if I had something like that lined up in my hand, like, oh, this is a good way to sell it. Like I said, like because you saw his reaction. He was mostly just pissed about it.
Yeah, he was mad.
He was mad about it, but he sold it better. So if I had like that marketing speech, I would have went to the right, you know. I would have went to the person I'm buying from, basically, you know, like, so.
Exactly.
So yeah, so
his real name is Martin then. Or was it a joke? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I guess that.
Yeah.
It could be.
I don't know.
It could be an inside joke.
It could be.
It's an easy. His name being Lawrence is an easy layup to like just put like, oh, Martin Lawrence, you know.
Yeah.
And they're both you know 90s babies basically, so
essentially,
or 80s babies, so it's easy to make that to make that joke. So who knows? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe he was just obsessed with it when he was younger, or
Yeah.
something like that. And he told her about it. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, that's true. All right. I don't have anything else to say other than it was a good episode. I'm excited for next week and see how everything else develops from here.
Yeah. I was gonna just ask because it seems like she's no longer with TSA babe. Do you think they're going to put a relationship aspect in Issa's life in this season?
I don't think we're so right now. No. I think they have enough with Molly in her relationship, and you already have Issa with her complicated relationship with Condola and the whole event thing she's working on. I don't think they're gonna add even more to her life. I think it's packed right now. So I don't think they would give her try to work for another significant other or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll end up getting another hookup person, but I don't think she would have an actual relationship that they're gonna throw in there. I think it's just too much.
So my prediction would be at the end is that someone is tossed in at the end, like the final episode or something. So then that way, like season 3, you see, I'm guessing Lawrence is broken up. So you see Lawrence single. So you see the reverse: Lawrence single and then Issa with somebody. So then you can play off of that dynamic. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Well, she could easily get back, or not even get back, but start talking to the Asian guy, Asian Bay's friend again from last season.
Oh, Ghost Babe.
Mm-hmm. So that could happen also.
That could happen,
especially if Molly and Asian Bay get closer and they actually get serious. It will be inevitable that they run into each other again.
Right. And they did mention him in the episode.
Yeah, she asked him, I think in the last episode, if it was okay for him to come out.
And she was like, nah.
Yeah.
So that totally leaves the door open for him to come back at the end of the season.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe he supports the event while Molly doesn't, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or Daniel could always come back.
Nah, Daniel's done. Daniel's done. At this point, like I would like someone brand new. Someone entirely different. Just cause like I guess at this point, like her selection of men that she's dated haven't been that strong.
Well, I thought Daniel was pretty strong.
Daniel was okay. It seemed like they were okay, like together. They didn't seem like they were good together. So yeah, so I would like something. I would like someone that entirely shakes up the, like puts her like, oh shit, this could be something, Yeah. Like I said, like we already have that with Condola, now with Lawrence, that like he's like kind of serious about her. I kind of want that for Molly, and I think that's gonna happen next season.
For sure, next season, but not this one.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this one is gonna set the pins up.
Okay.
So then next season, like you can knock them down.
Yeah. I can see that happening. Especially because then the drama of the season is over. So what's her next drama? Because last season ended with her kind of like getting better with her life, like finally settled, change of pace, changing things up. So this season needs to end with her doing something else. So yeah, that could be a possibility. Maybe she meets someone at the event or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what. I mean, if you think about it, like the cemetery event at the end of the last season is how Lawrence met Condola. So it's
he met her at the baby shower.
Oh, at the baby shower, you're right. Which was towards the end, which wasn't the last episode, but it was towards the last episode.
It was towards the end, for sure.
So that just sets something up right there. So I'm sure that they're gonna do something that sets up another person for Issa.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. Man. All right. That's it then, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this episode of us discussing Insecure Season 4, Episode 2. Let us know what you think about this episode. What do you think is going to happen to these characters? What was Molly pondering at the end? Let us know your thoughts. Till next time.
Later, guys.